And so what we do is we take this simple, clear teaching that Dr. Holmes left us, and we make it complicated. We make it complicated. We don't just step into surrender and say, okay, I forgive myself for what just happened, and I'm moving forward now in divine grace. No, we have to make it all complicated. As most of you know, before we were the Centers for Spiritual Living, we were the Church of Religious Science. And in 1958, the governor of California, who was, by the way, a religious scientist, asked Dr. Holmes to define religious science in 25 words. He said, we need to be able to tell the world what this is about clearly, succinctly, easily. This is what Dr. Holmes wrote. He said, religious science is a synthesis. Isn't that good? Get your tongue right. Synthesis, okay, of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and the aspirations of man. He felt this statement was the perfect definition of truth, simply because all knowledge is expressed through science or philosophy, we get from those three expressions. And the purpose of this teaching is to apply that knowledge, to apply it in a way that is pertinent to the expression and desires of living our life, our daily life. It's not about becoming a saint and rising up. It's about taking a humanly expressed life and living it from our divine center, so that each day we become more in sync with the harmony of the universe, more in sync with each other, and express more willingness to be more. That's what it's about, expressing more willingness to be more. He looked at those three aspects knowing that science is a system of laws or causes in nature. And philosophy is simply someone's opinion. Strongly held. We usually attribute it to Socrates or Plato or Aristotle. But it doesn't belong just to them. There have been thousands of people over history who have had opinions based on what they believed that were true for mankind. But we don't know who they are because nobody wrote down their names or what they said. So we pick the ones we know, and those are the philosophers. And as for revelations of religion, revelation means to make known through divine inspiration. To make known through divine inspiration. It means to become conscious of that which we already know. We bring our intuition, which is Spirit speaking to us, to the surface. We don't have to look for someone to lead us on that path of truth. It is right where we are, within each of us. If we allow that intuition to show itself. Now, over the years, a lot of people have said to me, how do I know if it's intuition or ego? How do I know? How do I know which one to follow? Is it intuition or is it ego? There's a really simple test that you can do to discover whether you're telling yourself the truth or not. You want to do it? You want to try it right now?
Yeah.
I just thought of this. Everybody stand up. I'm going to ask you a question. And no matter whether it's true or not, I want you to say loudly and with conviction, yes. Okay? Are you a man?
Yes.
Are you 21?
Yes.
Are you living in Chicago?
Yes.
Okay, now, I'm going to ask you questions and you say no. Is the sun shining?
No.
Are you happy?
No.
Are you a divine being?
No.
Who said yes? We were on the no. But she knows who she is. Okay, sit down. Was there a difference in your body when you told yourself a lie than there was when you told yourself the truth? When we tap into our intuition, we are telling ourselves the truth, and we can feel that. And when we are going from ego, we can feel that. So what you felt when you knew you were lying is not your intuition. And when you get this feeling trying to make a decision about something, think about today. What does it feel like? Does it feel like it did when you told the truth? Or does it feel like it did when you told the lie? And that will help you begin to get an understanding of your intuition, of getting in touch with it. And the more you practice being in touch with it and following that direction, the easier it becomes and the more recognizable it becomes. Boy, I keep going way off. I'm trying not to keep you too long because I keep having these asides. Okay, good. But today we're going to become more conscious of that which we already know, just like we did with this little test for intuition, as we look at the revelations of religion or our understanding of God. So we begin looking at God. What is God? Who is God? Well, it depends on who you are. It depends on who you are. Dr. Holmes called it the thing itself. You can call it whatever you want. God doesn't really care. You can call it God or Emmanuel or Allah or Jehovah or Father. Do any of these words make you nervous? Jesus, Spirit, first cause, or creative energy. You can call it any of those things. It doesn't matter. You can call it Tom if you want. God doesn't care. The name doesn't matter. All that matters is the feeling that brings you closer to a personal relationship with the Creator of your divine nature. That's all that matters. What brings you closer to that personal relationship? You see, all the peoples of the world have individual ideas about God. They have individual beliefs about God. Dr. Holmes used to say, if it makes them happy, let them believe it. It's not up to us to judge anyone. But we can look at our own idea of God by simply looking where we place our trust. Where we place our thoughts. Do we trust that the universe supports us, sustains us, and keeps us lifted up in goodness every moment of every day? Then we believe in a loving God. Do we spend most of our life in fear and doubt and worry? Then we believe in a God that punishes. We place our ideas. And that tells us what God is to us individually. Not what God is in reality, but what we've created in our own consciousness. What God we follow. I told you for a long time I believed I had to work hard. I believed in a God of work, of struggle, of strain. I believed in God that was going to judge me to be worthy or not based on how hard I worked. The good thing is, we have no doctrine here. None. We're not here to judge others. We're here to express, and we're here to experience, and we're here to help each other and to lift each other up into that experience so that we can all travel on this path of goodness together. Of goodness and of grace. And when I stand up here on Sunday, what I tell you is what I believe. I tell you what I believe based on what I learned from the teachings of Dr. Holmes and others, and what I've learned from my experience in life and all the mistakes I've made and the flaws I've experienced, and the times I've said, God, get me out of here. And all of those experiences have led me to here today, where I'm not finished. I'm still on the same path with all of you. But that's what this teaching is about, is the path. The path. And our willingness to keep moving forward. So what I want you to know is that because I tell you what I believe, not what you should believe, it's up to you to take what you hear on Sunday and decide whether or not it works for you, if you're ready to apply it in your life, and if it will bring you fulfillment and joy. That's your decision. You can leave here and say, well, that was nice, and go back to the way you were and it's fine. Or you can get one little piece of, one little gem and incorporate it into your life and see if it makes a difference. It's all up to you. It can be a challenge. We just had that word in class too. Challenge. All these words that we've used to replace the old words, like problem, that's now a challenge. It can be a challenge to live a joy-filled life. If we're still carrying around those old concepts of God, the ones I talked about earlier, the baggage we take with us, if we're still carrying that around. A simple definition of God is the power behind all creation. We can just remember that. It is the power behind all creation. We have to remember the all part. Not just the part we like. It is the power behind all creation. The confusion comes because we grow up with these great phrases like the will of God, which usually means something negative. Or it was an act of God, which means the tornado came through town and destroyed your house, or something like that.